You put your trust in that stupid how you figure. He won't best friend and your sister. I lied to ya. Oh, my fault, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, possibly night. Welcome back to another episode of KimYaps. Yeah, that's pretty amazing that y'all are here. Y'all still want to hear me talk about random things that you should already know, but like we're not gonna clock you right now, but like you feel me. But let's get the intro out the way. Actually, screw all that. Look, in episode 3, we went into the basement. Now you may be asking, Kimmy, what's episode 3? Episode 3 is a part of our series called Love and Relationships. Look, in episode 3, we went into the basement. We cried. We talked about our parents, our deep emotional struggles. We became a trauma-bonded community. It was heavy. We all needed a hug. And maybe a therapy session after that one, right? But today, we are turning the lights all the way up. We are locking the doors. Pay your tithes. And we are dragging some very specific people into the center of the room. We live in an era where we normalize toxic behavior. We make little TikTok dances about being a red flag. We laugh at the memes. But today, the jokes are being stripped back to the bone. Today, I'm talking directly to the cheaters. If you are currently sitting in your car in the driveway, frantically deleting your Snapchat history and clearing recently deleted photos before you walk into your girl's house, turn the volume up! If your phone is constantly on Do Not Disturb, but you don't have a job that requires high-level national security clearance, turn the volume up. Today, we are yapping about the evil light skins. Yes, the evil light skins. And the demonic dreadheads. Yes, the absolute clown behavior of cheating down to the biggest, most pathetic lie ever told in the history of modern dating. I just couldn't control myself. Or one that even the great new has heard before. I was thinking of you. Let's start by addressing the archetypes, because society has given us some very specific villains right now. We all know them. We've all dated them. Or we have a homegirl who's currently crying over them, or a homeboy that currently is one of them. First, we have the evil light skins. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This man, woman spends 45 minutes on their skincare routine. They have a 12-step exfoliating process. They use a silk pillowcase to protect their curl pattern, but they will not protect your phalanx. They quote SZA, Summer Walker, Drake in their IG notes, in their captions, while looking off into the distance or giving you the same look that Nala gave Simba. That signature light skin scare. They look like a 90s R&B singer, but behind those hazel eyes is an absolute menace to society. He are currently talking to 3 different men or women, or both. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, sunshine. Hey, baby. I had a dream about you. Bro, you did not have a dream about her. You did not have a dream about him. You awake at 3 a.m. playing 2K with the boys, screaming into a headset. Stop lying. He's got a Spotify playlist called Late Night Drives that he sends to 6 different zip codes. It's performance. How many Spotify blends does he have? And then we have the final boss, the absolute apex predator, the modern dating pool, coming out from South Carolina, 6'4". His name is Dreadhead. Now this guy is incredibly dangerous because he comes disguised as peace. He has the aesthetic of one who's supposed to have crystals, who's supposed to be burning stage in his studio apartment. He's telling you he's protecting his aura. He's looking for a woman whose chakras are aligned. Or he's a thuggish, ruggish bone. You have your King Vons and you have your Malcolm X's. The guy is incredibly dangerous because he comes disguised already. The dreads are covering his face. But let's talk about the earthy inward, right? He's burning sage in his studio apartment. He tells you that, oh, see how you hear that music? That's the sound of his chakras not being aligned. His chakras are currently in another woman's DMs, let's say, asking where my hug at. But look you dead in your eyes, pour a cup of oat milk matcha, tell you that you are his twin flame, and then completely ghost you out to hang out with a girl named Ashley, who doesn't even know what a crystal is. He's spiritually manipulating you. He's using words like vibration, energy, to justify why he can't commit to you. The only thing he's really, the only thing he's manifesting is a roster of confused women. Now, hey. Don't shoot the messenger. I know I have dreads. I know I've gone through earthy phases. That's not me. Not me. I'm fighting for my life. Give y'all 20 years of my career. But no, for real. We laugh. We talk about it. But let's talk about the clown behavior of how... I'm not even going to focus on the them. Let's focus on the guys actually operating a while. So let's talk about cheating now. So why is it that a man will have an absolute 10 of 10 of a woman at home? A woman who is gorgeous, loyal, holds him down, has her own money, and cooks him dinner. A Michelin star meal waiting at the crib. A woman who prays for him, who actively helps him build his credit score, who's essentially the CEO of his life. Reference to him dating his mama. And this man will risk it all. He will risk his entire kingdom for a half-eaten gas station 7-Eleven cake, spitting on a dirty roller. He will cheat on a queen with a girl who works at a vape shop. No shade. Has a mattress on the floor. No shade. And thinks washing her face with hand soap is a skincare routine. Just because she got good Kirk. Make it make sense? You burnt down your custom-built mansion to go sleep in a Motel 6? Not even a holiday yet? Come on, Shane. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because it was never about the sex. It was never about the physical act. Men cheat down because being loved perfectly by someone incredible is a lot of pressure. A woman, not a young gal, requires you to act like a man. The mansion requires upkeep. It requires you to communicate, to be emotionally... Hey, Mom. I can just edit this out.
Sorry, you're on a roll. I thought you were on the phone.
Oh, no. I'm just recording on here. It's audio only, so you're good. Yes, I'm just talking about... I think I'm just leaving this in. I'm just talking about the evil light skins and the evil dreadheads. Yes. You know the great forces of evil in our world.
Put that away and throw it away.
Okay. But yes. But yeah, the mansion requires upkeep. You need to pay the mortgage. You need to step up and be a man. 10 out of 10 women will look at your potential and hold you accountable to it. She will ask you about your 5-year plan. She will expect you to heal your trauma instead of weaponizing it against her. And for a lot of guys, that level of accountability feels like a straitjacket. A lot of these guys don't actually feel worthy of the mansion. Deep down, they suffer from massive, crippling imposter syndrome. They They know they are frauds. They know they are still little boys playing dress up. So instead of doing the grueling, deeply uncomfortable work of stepping up to meet the 10 out of 10 women at her level, they run to the Motel 6. They run to the downgrade because the downgrade expects absolutely nothing from them. In a Motel 6, he doesn't have to be a man. He can be a boy. He can be the lowest, fastest, most unhealed version of himself. The gas station hot dog doesn't ask him for accountability. He just asks him for a ride to the liquor store. The reason he cheats down is because it's the only place his ego feels like the smartest, the most powerful person in the room. You didn't cheat because you have so many options. You cheated because you were a coward. I was terrified of the effort that it takes to be truly loved by a good woman. Now, this brings me to the greatest, most embarrassing excuse in human history, the biological excuse. I'm a man, Kim. We were wired to spread our seed. I must be the great King Solomon. It's biology. Sometimes I can't control my urges. One thing just led to another. Oops, she got cracked. Let me get this straight. Grown A-word men. You pay taxes. You manage a 401k. You understand how to operate a 2-ton motor vehicle at 75 miles an hour on the freeway while checking your blind spots. You know how to navigate the complex socioeconomic landscape of the American workforce. But the second a girl in Fashion Nova yoga pants walks past you in the aisle at Target, you suddenly turn into a helpless toddler with zero impulse control. Now, mind you, if Shorty caked up, Shorty caked up. I can't lie. You feel me? I'm going to take a gander because he's a good man, Savannah, but I'm just saying. I understand. But you must stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. Your dick doesn't have a steering wheel. It doesn't have a GPS system. It doesn't magically hijack your central nervous system and drive you to her apartment, force your hand to knock on her door, and accidentally trip into the bed. Cheating is never an accident. It's the result of 100 tiny, pathetic micro decisions. Let's track the GPS of his accident, shall we? It was a decision when you chose to stay at the bar after your friends left. It was a decision when you didn't delete the test. It was a decision when you complained about your girlfriend to your female coworker laying the groundwork for her to feel sorry for you. It was a decision when you replied to her Instagram story with a heart eyes emoji. It was a decision when you turned the radio down in your car so y'all could talk a little deeper. At every single one of these crossroads, you had the opportunity to pull the emergency brake, and what did you do? You put the car in gas. You drove off. You were going at 90 miles per hour in an industrial zone. You didn't care about your girl. You didn't want her to be happy. You wanted to be satisfied. And if that's who you are, admit it. Admit that's who you are. Be who you are for your pride. So you are not a victim of your biology. You are architect of your own destruction. So, let me stop that. Let's strip away the jokes. Let's take off the cool factor because we try to often paint cheaters, the players, the guys with a massive roster, city boys, as high-value men. We act like having 5 women on your rotation makes you a boss. It doesn't make you a boss. It makes you a patient. Cheating, or rather, the object of having multiple people chase after your unhealed, traumatic, can't get over love isn't because you're cool, isn't because of what you have, it's because you're broken. And as soon as you can actually find that identity, say that, hey, maybe I am a piece of horseradish, you find a solution, right? Because when a man constantly needs new women, when he constantly needs to conquer, is because he has a gaping, bleeding hole in his own identity. He hates who he is when the room goes quiet. He is terrified of his own thoughts. The void inside him is so loud, so deafening, that he needs the constant pinging of notifications on his phone to drown it out. So he uses women as his emotional life rafts. He uses them as human likes on an Instagram post to prop up his fragile, shattered ego. If he could get a new girl to look at him like he's a god, if he could charm her out of her clothes, maybe for, let's be real, 5 minutes, he won't feel like a total loser. Maybe for those increments, he can outrun his own self-hatred, but it's a bottomless pit. Think about the dopamine crash after the cheat. Think about the post-clarity. You get the text back, you get the ego boost, you go do the deed, then what? The high wears off while you're putting your shoes back on, and suddenly you're driving back home in silence, feeling even emptier than you did before, because the validation wasn't real. So to the guys listening who are living like this, you aren't playing the game. Time to play the game. The game is playing you. You are a slave to external validation. You are so profoundly insecure that you are willing to shatter the heart of a woman who actually loves you, who actually knows your own soul, just to get a 5-minute ego boost from a stranger who doesn't even know your middle name. That's not masculine. That's not hate. It's not carrying the boats. That's pathetic. So we need to redefine what a man actually is in this generation, because the bar is currently sitting in hell. A boy is a slave to his flesh. A boy does whatever feels good in the moment, regardless of the collateral damage. A boy operates on instinct and appetite. A man is a master of his urges. True grounded masculinity is about discipline. And discipline isn't about not having the urge. It's about feeling the urge, looking it dead in the face and saying, damn, she bad, but she can't run me. She can't be a part of my system. I already got some yeah. And it's really about that containment. It is the ability to see temptation, look at it in its beautiful, bedacious eyes, acknowledge it, and say no. Because I've built something that's way too valuable to risk it for a momentary distraction. And if you can't control your physical impulses, you're not a leader, not a protector. You're not a man. You're a biological liability. Because how can a woman trust you to protect a family, to protect a household, to protect her heart from the world when you can't even protect your own DMs from a random Tuesday night temptation? So, there is no accidental cheating. There are only choices. If you want the mansion, you have to be the king. If you want to put the phone face up on the table, you have to delete the apps. You have to face the terrifying, beautiful, and heavy pressure of being fiercely in love to one person. And anything less than that is just a little boy playing dress up in a man's body. So that's all I got for y'all today. Stepped on some toes, as I should. I know some guys are currently like, oh, here the nigga go, he pandering, he just trying to get some voodoo. Oh, no! Shorty's next. That's the next episode. You hear me? But some of y'all are in silence. They ain't got to steer with, because I just clocked your teeth. I want you to rethink those weekend plans. I want you to rethink meeting up with Aisha instead of hanging out with your girlfriend, Shelby. Good. Good. N-word. Synonym. To the women listening, I want you to stop accepting the gas station hot dog treatment. Stop believing the it was an accident lie. Stop letting these demonic men manipulate you with their fake peace. Race. Really raise the standard of the men that you allow into your life. And to the man listening, Get a grip. Master your flesh. Stop acting like your biology is an excuse for your severe lack of character. Be the man she actually deserves. Or have the decency to leave her alone so a real man can find her. So boom, y'all. You know, as I always say, Jesus loves you. And I love you. Just a little bit less. This has been KimYaps. Catch y'all on the flip side.